failing. They were failing in math, and the principal didn't like these kids. And he would give them a hard time all the time, and he'd kick them out of school, and they were suspended. And these kids loved me because I kind of hung with them, and I hugged them, and I encouraged them. They were nasty kids, but I was trained to work with this kind of behavior. And they were failing math, and they failed math, they're going to fail the year. So that was a core subject they had to pass. So I went to see the principal. I said, listen, I'll take my free period. I'm going to teach these kids math. He said, Angelo, you're going to take these kids, your free period? He said, you don't get paid extra? I said, that's okay. I don't need to be paid extra for it. I'm going to do it.
30 seconds until minions.
So I had a class full of 30 kids, 8th graders, that did not know 5 times 5, did not know 3 times 3. These are the kids that would smoke weed on the corner. These are the kids that came from disturbed families. These are the kids who had challenges. And I had 30 of these kids, boys and girls in my class. These are the kids who would use all kinds of language in school, and they would get suspended for it, but I never suspended them. If anything, I kept them in school. They didn't want to stay. They wanted to go home. So I took that class. No assistant, no aide. It was me and 30 kids. So I told these kids, I said, listen, I says, you're going to pass math. Oh, we don't care about math this year. You're going to pass math this year. We got 8 weeks for you to learn this so you could pass math. We don't care if we fail. We're used to failing. I said, I do. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to be in my class for the next 8 weeks. This is my free period. I'm going to get paid for doing this. But I said, I'm going to have you. Why are you doing this? You're making some money. I said, no, I'm doing this because you're going to pass. I had a desire. I was a great teacher. I love what I did. And I said, you're going to pass this year. I said, let me tell you what we're going to do. I says, if you just come to class on time, you get a D. What are you talking about? You just come to class on time. On time, when the bell rings, you're in your seat, and you get a D. I couldn't believe that. If I just come to class, you just come to class. They thought, this guy's crazy. You just come to class, you're going to get a D. I was kind of an interesting teacher in the county school systems. One thing I never did in the county school, when I taught school, I didn't get homework. My principal called me in a couple times. Superintendent of schools called me in. Why don't you give homework? I said, why do you have to give homework? I hated homework as a kid. I hated homework as a kid. Now, let me tell you something. If I'm teaching math, algebraic equations, or if I'm teaching fractions, and the kid knows it in class, why send them home to do a chapter full of these things when he goes home? If they can do it in class. You want to turn the kid off in school? Have him do stuff that he hates. So I would have these kids in class come up to the board, and they could do it in class. They didn't have any homework. I had great kids. I was kind of a different teacher in the school system. Also, when I took a class of 30 crazy kids, 8th graders, they come to the class, and they would get there on time. Sometimes they did get right at the bell ring. I'm sit down real fast. I say, kids, let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a test every day. Every day we're going to have a test. Every day. Every day. I'm going to have a test every day. And I would give them a test every day in math. Fractions. Not fractions. Times tables. 6 times 8. 8 times 8. Every day. I said, they said, man, and they're so used to failing that they had an attitude, their self-image was one of failure. I had to change that. I had to change the way they thought. Let me tell you something, Mike Lakes, you can do. You can cheat in the class. Cheat? Yeah, you can cheat. What do you mean, you can cheat? You can cheat off each other's paper. Really? You can cheat. This guy's crazy. Yeah, you crazy, man. You can cheat in my class. And you want to cheat, you can cheat. I figure they're looking, it's like Dumb and Dumber. But I let them cheat off each other. We're taking a test. They're looking through his paper. Okay, got that. What's it? 7? Okay. I give them a test every day. I turn the paper in. Even cheating, they fail. But I never put failure on the paper. Now this went on for like 4 or 5 days, a week. I said, listen, this week you can cheat only once. You can, wait a minute, no, you can only cheat, you can only put someone's paper just one time. That's it, just one time. Now they're starting to have a relationship with me, I have a relationship with them, so now they're cheating once. I'm watching them. Hey, John. I said, he said, I only cheated one time. I didn't cheat twice. I only cheated once. Now they're telling you they cheated. Now they're being honest with you. No, Mr. Nardoni, I only cheated one time. I promise. This went on for a week. Now they're getting it. Next week. This time, guys, no cheating. In fact, if you look at someone's paper, if that person that you look at his paper, I'm going to mark this person down. Okay. So they're covering our paper down. Don't, hey, Mr. Nardoni, he's looking at my paper over here. Don't cheat, man. Now we're about 5 weeks into this course. At this point, the principal said to me, Angelo, I'd like to come in and observe the class. Can I observe you? Absolutely, come on in. He said, I'll be there next Tuesday, 7th period. I told my kids, listen, the principal's coming in. Oh, we hate this guy. I said, I know you do. I don't like him either, but he's coming in. When he comes in, I want you to show good behavior. You're going to pass this year. I want you to show good behavior. Show him respect. We're going to have a test. And I'm going to have to do an oral test in this class. And I'm going to show you. And they said, boy, if we don't know the answers. I said, you'll know the answers. Yeah, but what if you say 8 times 8, we don't know the answer? I said, you'll know the answer. How do you know we know the answer? I said, because I'm going to tell you how you know the answer. If I say 8 times 8, and you know the answer, you raise your right hand, which means you have the right answer. If you don't know the answer, you raise your left hand. This is cool, Mr. Nardoni. You're cool, man. Principal comes in. He walks in. They're all sitting there mannerly. They never were mannerly. They couldn't believe it, the respect that these kids showed as principal. Because one thing I taught them is to learn respect. They came in and they were sitting down. He goes, man, I'm impressed. You're very nice, boys and girls. You know. He sits in the back of the room. I was doing something on the board. I says, sir, I said, we're going to do an oral quiz today. Oral quiz. You ready, class? Yes, sir, Mr. Nardoni. I said, in fact, we're going to do times tables. Times table. You all ready for times tables? Yeah, we're ready for times tables. 7 times 7. Yeah. Most of them raise their left hand. I'm in front of them like this. Surely someone's got a right hand up there somewhere. I look like this. I'm kind of looking like that, you know. Yeah, Mary. 49. Very good. All the kids will applaud. 6 times 9. Man, I thought, oh my God. All right, maybe 1 or 2 people have their right hand up. They give the answer. He goes, people can't believe it. This is unbelievable. He said, this is unbelievable. You know. He goes, he's just sitting there looking, I can't believe it. 6 weeks ago, these kids were failing. They didn't know 1 times 1. 4 times 4. 16. He was overwhelmed. He couldn't believe it. These kids are feeling proud of themselves. Yeah, they were cheating maybe a little bit, but they felt good about what they were doing, believe it or not. The principal walks in front of the class. He sits on my desk. He looks at me, he said, Mr. Nardoni, he says, I can't believe this. And he turns to the class. The kids hated this guy. I used to hate the word hate, but the kid never liked him because he didn't like them. Because he didn't see them as worthy. He didn't give them value. And sometimes that happens in school systems, unfortunately. But he endorsed these children that day. He said to these kids, he said, you know something, class? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what I see here today. And he just sat there, and the kids just couldn't believe it. They never heard a man who dishonored them, honor them. And they just were so happy, and they clapped their hands and everything as he walked out of the room, and they were getting high-fiving each other because he honored them. Folks, let me tell you something. That's what kids in this country need today. They need to be uplifted and felt good. We as parents got that responsibility to do that to this day. I want you to understand that. And to this day, and this is back years ago, I still see some of my classmates. I still see my kids in school. I still see some of them are in my organization today. You know you're getting older when your kids in school were in your downline. And I get calls all the time around the holidays. Mr. Nardoni, when I say Merry Christmas, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Nardoni, you're the best teacher I ever had. These kids are married today with children of their own. Oh yeah, maybe I fudged a little bit to make them feel better, but they feel better about themselves today. That's what this is all about. To honor one another, to lift each other up. Feel good about who you are. Don't hang your head for nobody. You need to understand that, my friends. You know what I've learned along the way in this business? That you don't have to have your act together to succeed in this business. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to say some stupid things in this business. But be the first to tell somebody, I'm sorry. Be the first to tell somebody, forgive me, I blew it. Be the first to tell somebody, I apologize. These are important phrases and statements to make to people all the time. I don't always have my act together. I make mistakes along the way, and sometimes I say things I wish I hadn't said. But as long as a person knows your heart and understands that, that's what this is all about. All of life is relational. Don't get hung up with it. I don't walk around as Mr. Diamond in his business. I don't wear my diamond rings when I go to bed. I don't wear my diamond rings when I drive a motorcycle. I only wear them here because I know it impresses you, and this is something you're shooting for. But I'm Angelo Nardoni at home. And what you see on stage is what you see at home. The same exact thing. We're real people. That's what this is all about. I tell my leaders all the time that when you change pins, you don't change your hat size. You don't change your hat size, you change your pin size. You are who you are. That's what this business is so great. So don't feel like that you have to act 100% to be successful in business, because you don't have to be. That's what it's all about. I'm the first to tell somebody I was wrong. This is what's important. Men, be able to say that to your wife. Be able to say that to your children. Ladies, be able to work with each other as a husband and wife. These are the little tips and things that made a difference for me. Bill always says, agreements to exceed in this business, don't be a judge. Don't be judgmental. And when I see judgmental people judge others in this business, the spirit's wrong. They don't grow in this business. Don't be judgmental. Accept every religion, every ethnicity, every background, every age level. This is important. I realized before this business, without realizing it, how biased and how prejudiced most people are brought up. When I first got involved in this business, before this business I should say, when you're married, when you're single, before this business, you hang out with single people. You don't hang out with married people because you can't relate. When you get married, you only hang out with married people who have kids, if you have kids, because you can't relate. But now you get involved in this business, and if you're 50 years old, you hang out with someone who's 19 years old. You don't care about their color, their age, their background. We're a team. We're one. We work together as an organization. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about, for goodness gracious. All the bias and all the prejudice is out there, not in here. Some people say that's a call. If that's a call, I love being in a call, if that's what this is all about. My goodness gracious, folks. The call exists outside Amway, not in his business. We are who we are because we live by what we live by, what we believe in. Don't ever be judgmental. Always learn to live the journey, not the destination. It's not once you get there, it's getting there. It's going through the steps and the struggles and the ups and the downs. That's what's important. My son was an excellent wrestler. He was 6th in the nation in private schools as a wrestler in school. I remember one time he was wrestling, I was taking care of I was a time clock, watching the time clock. And he was going against this kid that was really, he was actually better than this kid. Now he was up on this kid 6 points. If you guys are wrestlers know that points, you get points for pinning somebody, you get points for flipping somebody, you get points for taking control and reversing. And he was up on this kid 6 points. And all of a sudden he made a bad move. And we're down to 30 seconds in the match. And he got pinned. And the coach was upset. The coach was upset. And so Nick comes off the mat when his head was down, and the coach, he was the kind of coach that he wasn't really edifying. You always look at the bad points instead of your good points. And when you're a parent, and you're either a timekeeper or working one of the corners, it's hard for you to see your son either lose or win, but it's hard for your son to get recommended by somebody else. But you gotta suck it up, because he's the coach. So Nick came off the mat, and he sat in a corner on the floor like this, he put his head down, he was upset, and the coach went over to him, and he arraigned him out. And I'm sitting right here, and he said, Nick, what are you doing? What did you do out there? You were up on this kid 6 points. What did you do? And was that? You don't know? Let me ask you this, Nick. How did you earn those 6 points? How did you get those 6 points? How did you get those 6 points in the first place? Tell me how you got those 6 points. I said, I don't know. You don't know how you got them. That's why you lost it. Because you don't know how you got it. And you know something, folks? It bothered me that my son was being reprimanded that way, but I learned some things. I learned some things. That you're going to have a roller coaster in your business. You're going to have your good months and your bad months, your good years and your bad years. But if you don't remember how you got there, you might wind up losing it. Remember what you did to get where you were. And so many people say, you know something, my business dropped back a little bit. I says, remember what it was like when you were growing. When you were growing in this business, you couldn't listen to enough CDs. You couldn't read enough books. You couldn't go to enough functions. You should have planned a lot. Remember what got you there. Go back and do it again. Because if you forgot what got you there, you're going to fall back. And you stay steady with it. That's what this is all about.
Rampage.
That's what this is all about. You know, I read a story once about this little gal. I think it was in the news. This gal was Bethany Hamilton. Bethany Hamilton was a 13-year-old girl. And she was the one that lost her arm in a shark attack years ago. They made a movie about her. It was called The Soul Surfer. And this was a girl that, after the attack, she lost her arm. And she was a magnificent surfer. She lost her arm. So after the attack, she told her father. She said, you know something? She said, I want to compete again. And her father says, look, he says, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. You know what she said? I don't want easy. I just want possible. I don't want easy. I just want possible. Folks, don't expect any success in life to be easy, but it's possible. If you just stay steady and you stay consistent, it will absolutely blow your mind to who you become. Not what you become, but who you become. I want you to understand that. Learn that. Understand that. Our children are involved in this business. Our children love this opportunity. I want you to understand that. And you're going to have people who will tell you that the business doesn't work, just like my boss was upset with me because he knew I was succeeding in this business. And I'm going to close with something here that I want to talk to you about my last day at work. Because every one of you have a last day. Every one of you have a last day. Can I get 2 chairs? Bring up 2 chairs up here. I'd like to have 2 chairs if I can. 2 chairs. How many here have thought about your last day on the job? I've thought about your last day on the job. Okay? Here I was, working in the mental health center. Here I was, offered the directorship of that program. I was an emblem of business going diamond. I quit my business. I quit the teaching profession. I was an emblem of this business. I made a large income, went diamond in the business, and I should have quit and I was platinum because I had enough money to do so. We made a lot of money in the business. And I stayed. It was in June when the school year was over. I was offered the directorship of the program. I turned it down because I knew I was going to quit that year. The gentleman who came in was bothered by the fact that I turned down. I became a teacher working for him, where he would have probably been working for me. But I turned it down. And it bothered him that one of his teachers turned down his position. And so it bothered him the fact that I turned down his position, and he couldn't understand why. Then he heard I was in the Amway business. And when a boss finds out you're in the Amway business, they don't like you too much because they don't understand the business. And so I never did the business on the job. I never have done that. But let me tell you something that took place here. I decided that I'm going to quit my job. I made such a great income. And every one of you are going to have a day like this. Every one of you can think about your last day on a job. In the teaching profession, we had an office. The principal's office was in the office. In the front office was a secretary. The secretary was a nasty old woman. She was a negative lady. She was like a witch. No one liked her. She was like a witch, okay? She could have been a test pilot in a broom factory, if you know what I'm talking about here, okay? But she was a negative person. And the director of the program, who was a doctor, was kind of a negative guy too. But that's my last day. And I couldn't wait to tell my boss I quit. I worked so hard. I couldn't wait for my last day to be free to own yourself. All the kids left. It was 3:30 in the afternoon. The teachers are wrapping up. They get ready to go, and I'm staying late in my class because I couldn't wait to talk to my boss. All the teachers had left, and my boss didn't like me because I drove a Cadillac. There ain't no teacher in the county school system in my area drive a Cadillac to school. He drove a Volkswagen bus. He should tell me, park your car around back, because it bothered him because I used to park it next to the Volkswagen bus. That day was our last day. I walked into the office, and I walked past the secretary. She said, "Can I help you, Angelo?" I said, "I'd like to see Mr. Smith." She said, "You have an appointment?" I said, "I don't need an appointment today." She said, "That seems strange. I don't need an appointment today. The door was closed. You should knock on the door like this to see Mr. Smith." That day I decided I wasn't going to make an appointment, and I wasn't going to knock on his door. I was just going to walk right in. When you're free, you feel good about yourself. I walked past her, I opened the door, and he's sitting there at his desk just like this. Like always. Desk here, that chair on the other side, where all the little cronies like myself would have to sit. And his feet are just like this, smoking a cigarette. I walk through the door. He goes, "Yes?" I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "Can I help you?" I walked in. He never asked me to sit down. I sat down just like this. Like a good little boy.
An ally has been slain.
Yes, Angelo, did you have an appointment?
Enemy rampage.
No, I don't have an appointment today. Well, what are you here for? I said, "Well, Mr. Smith, I'm going to tell you that I'm turning my resignation in today." He's like this. "I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon?" "Yes, I'm here to tell you I'm turning my resignation. I'm getting a little bolder now. Turn my resignation in today." It's not because of the family business, I hope. I said, "In fact, it's exactly the reason why I'm turning my resignation today." He said, "Angelo, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. The stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. Because of Amway, you're quitting your job." He had no clue where I was in the business.
An enemy has been slain.
My turn.
Double kill.
I put my feet next to his feet, and I said to him, "Who's stupid? If I can make as much money monthly as you make yearly, tell me who's stupid." I got up and I walked out as a free man and closed the door. And that was my last day on the job. And I don't believe in being revengeful. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. I have never felt so good in all my life to know I did the right thing at the right time. How many are ready to do exactly the same thing on your JOB? You could do exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. You could be a free man and a free woman. We went down in this business. We were full-time in this business. And I was getting no after no after no and cards after cards after cards from people congratulating us, as you will when you're free. And this card I always kept, because this card was always motivational to me. And I'm going to read it to you, because it was appropriate, absolutely fantastic for this business. And here's exactly what the card says. It says, "You did it. Some had doubts, but you did it." Now listen to what these words are for you.
Killing spree.
Some had fears, but you did it. Some lost faith, but you did it anyway. And now there's only one thing to do. Call those doubting, fearful, faithless people at 3 a.m. in the morning laugh like a maniac, and hang up. And that's what you'll do too, folks. That's what you're going to do too, because you'll be in Diamond Club with us. There's a lot of room for you there. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
While the techniques and approaches suggested in
An
this
enemy
presentation
is
may have worked for others, no one can guarantee
Enemy
that they will
double
work for
kill.
you. We hope, however, that the ideas presented here will assist you in developing a strong and profitable business. It is important to emphasize that success in any business opportunity does not come without hard work. This product is optional and subject to the refund policy described in your purchase agreement and business support materials. Purchase of future business tools can be discontinued at any time. The financial achievements depicted in this presentation may reflect income from sources other than family, such as earnings from the sale of professional development materials or other businesses and investments. Experience has shown that IBOs of the most successful businesses do three things: sell to retail customers, register others to become IBOs, and develop product knowledge by purchasing products for personal use. This presentation is intended for existing IBOs only and is not authorized for use with
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Errant words may divination I introduce.
Slain. An enemy is legendary. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An ally has been slain. Been slain. The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An enemy is unstoppable. An enemy has been slain.
Do not try my patience.
An enemy is
It
godlike.
is never ending.
The enemy's inhibitors respawn soon.